how often would you push that button? It is remarkable. This is the length that failed broadcast networks that people no longer trust will go to. And because the BBC is government sanctioned and has the power and force of the government, and the government can go after everybody else for misinformation and disinformation, and they can shut down trucker protests and put people in jail and all that, the BBC can simply say, we want everybody's remote to have BBC on it. So I would just take a Sharpie and just cross over that, or maybe physically take some needle nose pliers, just pull that button right off my remote. I mean, what else are you going to do? You're going to do Clockwork Orange, where you have people's eyes open and you make them sit in front of TV screens? Don't put it past them. Don't put it past them. Oh my goodness, it is just remarkable. I think we need to talk about a little bit more government corruption. This time, I want to talk a little bit about Jack Smith, the judge who wants to go after Donald Trump for mishandling classified documents. It's a joke, it's a distraction, it's another attempt to take down the man who will be president.
That crooked DOJ.
This is Jim Gossett.
Wants Trump out of the way. Indictment soon, they say it's a witch hunt.
Nice try. Ain't gonna work.
And they've got no defense.
7 years of this.
There is no evidence for it.
We're done.
Joe and Pence, they took documents too. It's a witch hunt.
Been going on for years.
Partisan witch hunt.
Everybody knows it.
And although they know that none of it's true, they haven't found a single crime. Now Chris Ray should be doing time. Hope someone drops a dime on him soon.
Go ahead and do that now.
This Jack Smith creep must go, as well as Sleepy Joe. Garland, no one's as low as you. As you. As you.
And you know, this isn't about justice. This isn't about crime. This is about the justice system making up crime to take down a political enemy. They know it too. They're not doing this because they think Donald Trump is a criminal. They're doing it because they consider him a threat. That's the difference. They know exactly what they're doing. They're knowing there is no crime. They are going after something they make up. Alvin Bragg is trying the same thing in New York. It's happened time and time again. It's not a face plant. Time and time again. They're trying, this is the latest iteration, and it's going to fall. By the way, if you want to hire Jim Gossett does all our song parodies. I've told you, with conservative comedy, very hard to find a gig. And Jim does corporate gigs. Jim does private gigs. He does comedy clubs. If you'd like to book Jim Gossett, the guy on this show, Jim Gossett, I have a number for you if you want to write it down. Okay? And he does non-political stuff too. Liven up a funeral. I'm telling you, you can do anything. Funeral, a bris, hard to make that funny. But, a bar mitzvah could be, hell, a wedding reception. I don't even know. Just a corporate gathering. Here's a number for Jim Gossett, and it's easy to remember. Okay, write it down. 678-829-SHOW. 678-829-SHOW. Holiday season's coming up, in the fall and the big. If you want to book Jim Gossett, I would suggest you do so. And I'm talking about comedy clubs too. This guy's going to fill the house. So 678-829-SHOW. 678-829-SHOW. This is an ex-Trump prosecutorial attorney, I should say, an ex-Trump attorney alleging, his name is, by the way, Tim Parlator. He was on CBS with Catherine Herridge. CBS! I know. And he's saying that this Jack Smith ongoing classified documents probe is about prosecutorial misconduct. This is on CBS.
The Trump attorneys have raised questions about prosecutorial misconduct in this case. What did you witness?
I witnessed a lot of misconduct.
What did that look like?
So it's been reported, I went before the grand jury myself. I was not subpoenaed. I went in voluntarily as in the place of a custodian of records. And I was really stunned.
This is a fishing expedition, and when
what I saw in the grand jury room by the conduct of the prosecutors. And they made many attempts to try to get at privileged communications. They would ask me about conversations with my client. They would make improper references to the jury, trying to mislead them about that.
Kind of like what Congress did to Matt Taibbi, asking him about his sources and everything. And he's like, no, I don't have to give you that stuff. Why are you asking me?
At one point, it got to the level where, they're asking me this again, and then they'll turn to the grand jury and say, so you're refusing to provide this information. No, I'm not refusing to provide. The ethical rules prohibit me. Even if the answer to this question is helpful, I'm not allowed to give it.
No.
And I turned to the jury and I said, and she knows it. She knows that it's an improper question. It's an improper inference. That then led to an exchange where she tried saying, well, the privilege has exceptions. It could be waived, yes. Well, if the president's so cooperative, why won't he waive privilege and allow you to tell the grand jury about his conversations?
Why does that cross a legal red line?
Here we go.
That crosses a major red line as far as implying guilt to a jury based on the invocation of a constitutional right.
Yep.
It's the kind of thing that if that had happened in a trial court, the judge would have immediately, stopped everything, probably declared a mistrial. And it's the kind of thing that, quite frankly, an attorney, a prosecuting attorney who willfully does that type of thing would potentially face discipline. And I think that they probably will when this case comes out.
Yeah, and you know what? I used to have faith in the legal system, that they would actually look at things deferentially and not pursue politics, but that's out the window. That's out the window with all of these grand juries. The grand jury in New York with the AG or the DA there, Alvin Bragg. It was a joke. They had a person who was in charge of the grand jury who was a Wiccan freak show leftist, and it's a joke. You can't get justice in the country. So the only thing we can do is make it so obvious that this is blatantly corrupt that finally people raise enough hell that it sends a message, you better get yourself together or you're done. You are done. This is Jim Jordan talking about the different treatment, because, right now we have the most corrupt president in the history of the country in office. It is backed up by records. It is backed up by banking
Of course,
records,
that was a black guy
and it is
driving like that.
Backed up
Yeah,
by
he was
witnesses.
black,
It is backed up
obviously.
by testimony. It is backed up by documents. The FBI, the
black
CIA can go on and
wants to
on.
drive
There
like
is
that.
evidence that is
Yeah, that's why
indisputable.
that's
Joe
why I
Biden
don't
is the
like
most corrupt
blacks.
president,
The
at
worst
least of
drivers
our
and the
lifetimes,
worst
and I would venture to say
people
definitely in the
ever.
history of the country. Yet Donald Trump has been out of office for 2.5 years, is the target, and Joe Biden is being ignored by the biggest law enforcement agencies in the country. And here is Jim talking to, I think this was Fox, about this.
President, he's calling Marxist and fascists in the DOJ and FBI going after me at a level and speed never seen in our country. I did nothing wrong. He talked about Joe Biden keeping documents, Joe Biden having documents from when he was a senator, which we know they're not allowed to leave with.
Come on. Stop
What do
with
you
the
say to
social
that? Is
distance,
there
you
disparate
stupid
treatment here?
Asian drivers.
Of course there is. And
Damn.
anyone with
You cannot get sick from a car.
Oh, yeah,
Stop
common
social
sense.
Lied on his
distancing.
campaign in
Damn.
2016. They gave us 3 years of the Mueller investigation, $30 million that found nothing. The day after Bob Mueller testifies in front of Congress, they start the impeachment. 51 former Intel officials sign a letter, all designed to suppress the Biden laptop story. They go raid his home 91 days before the 2022 midterms, and now they're going to indict him, not just in New York with Mr. Bragg, not just in Georgia with Fun. Ridiculous.
Of course we do. And Jim, why is that? What has the FBI and the DOJ been involved with for the last, 7 years?
A colleague of mine said this in a committee hearing a few weeks ago, Mr. Gates. He said, when is the FBI going to quit interfering with elections? 2016, they spied on President Trump's campaign. 2018, it was the Mueller investigation. 2020, they suppressed information about the Hunter Biden story. 2022, they raided the president's home 91 days before the election. Maybe it'd be nice if the FBI and the Justice Department just stayed out of it, let we the people decide who we think should represent us, who we think should lead us. That's supposed to be how America works.
This is what the deep state wants to be about.
So this is the focus on the Judiciary Committee, the political nature of the Justice Department, and the linkage now to what was happening with the Hunter Biden story. Again, just 15 days before we have a presidential election.
Yeah, it is just, it's remarkable, and it's becoming nakedly obvious to everybody, and hopefully it will result in the removal of Joe Biden from office by hook or by crook. By hook meaning 25th Amendment, meaning, Mr. President, your brain isn't working. I think it would be better for the country for you to step down. Or by crook, the exposure of all of the malfeasance and the eventual collapse of the FBI's covering of all of this, and removal from Joe Biden, a resignation to save people from going to jail. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think he's going to be the candidate through the primary process, and certainly not into the election. Let's take a break and come back. I got some news about January the 6th that you've known about for a very long time. More evidence coming out about the crowd who was there and who caused it. That's on the way. This, my friends, is the Rob Carson Show.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
This is Leon Panetta inviting you to join us for the fourth and final event in the 2023 Panetta Lecture Series. On Monday, June 12th, we'll discuss history and a divided nation. Can we survive? With historian Douglas Brinkley, Professor Annette Gordon-Reed, and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Bob Woodward. America has a long tradition of divided government. Can the lessons from the past help us navigate the divisions of the present? Call 831-582-4200 for tickets.
The new Cruise Coffee Cafe, located at 246 Kings Village Road in Scotts Valley, has a wonderful array of breakfast items, pastries, and lunch, as well as all kinds of one-of-a-kind items from local artists in the community. Locally roasted coffee here in Santa Cruz. You won't be disappointed. The new Cruise Coffee Cafe in Scotts Valley. It's the coffee of choice for KSCO Radio.
This is Dr. Duncan McCollum, and I want to introduce you to Karen, another patient who's had some pretty serious surgeries in her back, terrible amount of pain, and has some incredible results with our soft wave therapy machine. You've had a few different surgeries in your back, and you have steel putting the last three vertebrae together, and you were still in pain after that.
Yes.
So they implanted in your spine.
Spinal cord stimulator. It made everything so much worse. They revised that twice and added more paddles and stitched it all in. It continued to get worse. All trying to resolve the problem, which was a diaphragm cramp that never went away. It started the day I woke up from the permanent implant, and it ended last week when you took care of me. Like, was it last week?
See if the Softwave therapy machine works for you. We have a $49 special that you can try. Call 459-9990. 831-459-9990.
Bill Graff here, talking with Alexander Hagan from Etheric Networks. Alex, tell me about your crew.
We have about 45 staff here in the Bay Area. Daly in RF engineering. I have some top networking guys. We get support from our vendors. We've been doing this for 20 years. We consider ourselves, with all due modesty, very strong on the technical side of the business. And we also like what we do. Just like I know you like what you do. We want our customers to be happy all the time. And so it depresses us if our customers are unhappy. You remember back in the big storms, we worked day and night to make sure that service kept running.
How can folks get a hold of Etheric?
I would suggest sending a mail to sales@etheric.net. and mention the KSCO special. We'll give them 10% off on their first year, on install, on equipment, on service. But we also have a website, and just look up Etheric Networks, and that has information with our phone number, our sales contact information, as well as direct interactivity with the website.
Remember, all of the gas-powered engines, power plants, gas stoves, gas furnaces, sundry items that produce CO2, including your lungs, pale by comparison to the amount of particulate matter and CO2 being released by Canada into the United States because they mismanage their forests there because of green energy nonsense. The factories and the vehicles and the fireplaces of America have never shut down people from flying in to cities across the eastern seaboard, or caused people on Broadway in New York City to say, I can't breathe, so I'm not going to do the show tonight. So way to go, Canada. I'm always singing for the Canada. Last night, and this is what we do. This is what we do on Newsmax. We have opposing views on there. Very, they leave it up to me to take part in the guest could have done something about the 2020 election. And Mike Pence continues to say that Donald Trump caused January 6th. That's a lie. So Mike Pence will never be the president of the United States. Part of that is because of the settlement, part of the fact that he is an old school, last night on Newsmax.
I don't know what he intended, but as I've said many times, I said
talking about Donald Trump
again today. His words were reckless that day.
No, they weren't.
With my wife, my daughter, our team at our side, I thought he endangered all of us at the Capitol by literally calling me out while a riot was unfolding. But that was not.
Now, when he was on stage, there was no riot unfolding. There were people still standing there, but people had already gone to the Capitol to oppose this, and the crowd was infiltrated. I'll get to that in a few because I got some new juicy tidbits on that.
The core of my message today, the core I wanted to convey to people is that also in the midst of that, that President Trump asked me to choose between him and the Constitution. I had taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I laid out today, and your viewers can go and look at it themselves, where in Article 2, Section 3, it clearly states the duties that I had presiding over a joint session of Congress.
And the duties that you ignored, by the way. I'll get to that in 1 second. But here is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, after he left the stage from the peaceful rally of 1 million